Hello everyone, welcome back. The Star Beats fan, this video must watching, and I hope enjoy this video. Chasing classic cars become a show all about locating conventional motors and perhaps making a few cash off of them. Fanatics cherish tuning in each week to see what wonderful cars the group could discover. The display ran for 13 years before suddenly going off the air. Carburetor sound nearly as exact as the exhaust well, air sucking in. This is pretty cool. There has been in no way a precise cause as to why, and plenty of fans have wondered why. From financial issues to law hassle, be part of us as we communicate approximately the actual purpose. Chasing classic cars ended 15. Chasing classic cars, it changed into Wayne Caron's real love of vintage automobiles that saved lovers always entertained for the 13 years that Chasing classic cars turned into at the air. The fact PR Chasing classic cars changed into a show that was devoted to locating antique motors and repairing them if wanted. Lovers tuned in every week to look what new motors Wayne Keeney and company could find and what they could do with them. His excessive love and wonderful information of all things automobiles kept fans glued to the television screens. When he was on Now Not Best did he have an encyclopedic knowledge of vintage automobiles, but he additionally studied up on individual automobiles on his journey to find the most rare and extraordinary motors. Wayne Carini become acknowledged to drop bits of expertise that even the highest paid mechanics would take notes on. It wasn't simply the suggestions and hints about automobiles that helped the display live at the air. Wayne Carini turned into also within the business of buying and promoting. The charge become by no means final, despite the fact that the seller swore it changed into. Wayne Carini expertly negotiated with the owners, and we noticed him get the charge dropped hundreds of instances with the automobile absolutely constant and prepared to be back on the road. He'd take it to auctions and search for appropriate consumers who might take the automobile for manor extra than he sold it for. In one episode, Wayne Keeney offered a vehicle for $500,000 after he offered it for simplest $30,000. Unfortunately, not anything can last all the time, and in 2019, after a decade on the air, Chasing classic cars, referred to as It Quits 14 auction expenses aren't what they appear to be. Throughout the display's 13-12 months run, Wayne Carini witnessed a few brilliant turnarounds on the auctions, but behind-the-scenes economic problem changed into a looming challenge, in particular for the consumers. There are very few reality indicates that don't pull strings for better episodes, and Chasing classic cars isn't always one of these few. If Wayne Carini or a capacity consumer receives the awful cease of the stick, it'll be covered up to make the episode move easily with a show targeted around shopping for and promoting cars. This was a trouble in nearly each episode. While many automobile lovers dream of a life wherein they can purchase vintage college motors and promote them for a higher charge, it's in no way that smooth, and auctions regularly cause losing more money than gaining. Somebody like Wayne Keeney may be able to elevate a hood and study every aspect of a vehicle earlier than selecting it, but some human beings don't have his expertise and turn out to be paying manor greater than they need to for something that is an excessive amount of a hassle to even experience. So every now and then a car that became bought for next to nothing at a public sale can emerge as requiring hundreds of dollars in repairs before it's even drivable. Any other problem for shoppers comes when they've bought the car once in a while. A car is bought at a rate that puts a big smile on a purchaser's face. However, after the public sale, whilst they try to say their vehicle, the smile melts away as they locate themselves pelted with fees and specific types of registration, titles, and licenses. 13. Roger. One of the fans' favorite elements of Chasing classic cars was Roger Barr, the older hilarious Cuden, who supplied his statement on the cars that Wayne Keeney would observe, and by matters commenced to become worse when Roger Barr encountered fitness problems which made his look on the display challenging. As a result, he also had economic issues while he turned into employed at F40 Motorsports. In August of 2017, Roger Barr experienced a severe contamination in his leg. He became admitted to the health center, although he left soon after. In November of that year, things seemed okay till the infection got here, returned, and he should spend a prolonged time inside the hospital over again. Roger Barr's physicians notion it great that he did not go back to operating at the application because he turned into already in his 80s. The risks associated with operating in a complete time restore keep have been extra than someone his age may want to take. His accidents had gotten so horrific that he had no choice, however, to walk away from the display that he'd been part of for goodbye. Now, not long after that, he announced his retirement from working altogether, but because of the dearth of money he'd received during the years, his plans for a comfortable retirement had been interrupted. Things had gotten so bad financially that his buddies needed to create a GoFundMe webpage to help pay for some of his clinical fees. Roger Barr denied the allegation that he had a huge nest egg saved and stated he nonetheless had to work to help himself. 12. Wayne Carini. Whilst the famous person of a display is requested why their show changed into cancelled, they nearly in no way supply a definitive response. Not even Chasing classic cars can be considered an exception, and visitors had been left questioning about the actual motive why the show ended. Enthusiasts of the display form have assumed that Wayne Caron's financial and legal issues were the reason Wayne Carini turned into. Born in Portland, Connecticut within the early 50s, His father-mother owned a collision repair and auto healing commercial enterprise which would finally get passed right down to Wayne. Wayne were working with automobiles due to the fact that he changed into a younger baby, and sooner or later it became his existence which brought about him being solid within the display. The display was tragically cancelled because of a few very unlucky prison troubles. A person named William Robert Richmond sued Wayne's organization F40 Restoration in June of 2020, claiming they must be compensated for a 1930 for Pierce Arrow Coupe. The United States District Judge Carrie Doley, who became assigned to the case, stated that the case changed into an unfortunate one wherein all of the events involved had been acting in proper faith. Wayne remained silent over the case, but fans of the system and net user Speedy heated up approximately. It had also got here to light that despite the fact that being promoted in the beginning as a documentary chasing classic cars isn't always absolutely factual, much like Different Fact TV suggests in many genres. 11 Wayne Carini desired to be an art trainer. Wayne Carini grew up around automobiles and mechanics, and it become no question that he'd inherit the lifestyle. However, it wasn't his only dream. Earlier than he seemed on the show and made running on vehicles his complete time career. Wayne had goals of teaching art. Those desires nearly became a fact. He went as a ways as analyzing at Central Connecticut State University, wherein he sincerely graduated with a diploma in art schooling. After looking round, he found out that locating a process with the diploma became harder than he'd idea. In want of money, he went lower back to work at his father's shop. He then realized what he needed to do with his existence. Whilst he graduated with a degree in art education, it wasn't his first desire career. Firstly, he had desired to be an architect, saying that designing homes and houses became his dream, but he failed to want to be caught in college for an entire 7 years. Wayne had said that despite no longer getting a process that required him to place his diploma to use, he still believes in training and studying. In his 70s, Wayne said that he keeps to learn new things every day. 10 Wayne would not always realize the whole lot. Approximately the car. Wayne Carini is a genius with regards to vehicles, and there's absolute confidence approximately it. However, even geniuses are not successful of getting all the understanding inside the global throughout chasing classic cars. Vehicles had been added in, and Wayne commenced to throw out facts about them like he is a computer with a database. The truth is that each vehicle that came in had to be confirmed with the aid of the manufacturing groups backstage. Once those vehicles were showed true sufficient for the show, a research group started out getting records which got fed to Wayne. Many enthusiasts were left surprised and offended to discover that the show, categorized as a reality show, turned into sincerely scripted. It became a whole lot of them far away from the show. Regardless of the truth of the display, Wayne never claims to understand the whole lot about cars. As the display betrays, he is aware that even as he knows extra approximately motors than maximum people, there are still others who recognize greater than him, and he is excellent with that. Wayne continually speaks publicly about his love for learning, and he's stated regularly that he's usually open to getting to know extra about cars if another car lover is inclined to train him. 9 Speed on occasion interferes with the content material, while humans like Wayne Keeney and Roger Barr did chasing classic cars for the love of automobiles. Other humans were in it for views and money. The show's manufacturers, the organization Speed for example, has a reputation for meddling with their shows. Whilst we'd love for the series to be a fact show like it's promoted, it's far virtually a scripted display which will live at the air. It needs to sustain its viewership and fan base. Because of this, the producers every now and then use stage scenes to make certain that visitors had been kept entertained to meet filming deadlines, gain permission for TV airing, and deal with numerous logistical necessities that progressively detract from the authenticity of fact TV. Those aspects ought to be meticulously prepared nicely in advance. The megastar of some other famous Speed collection, Ed China, departed from the program Wheeler Dealers because he claimed that pace changed into too closely worried with the production they stored, making changes that significantly worsened the display velocity. Decided to take over the production of the display rather than simply distributing it like they said they would. Upon assuming manage, they asserted that generating the display in line with its authentic plan would be too highly priced. Without their modifications, the show might incur greater losses than profits. 8 Not all of the motors make an income. Traditional motors are great money makers for the most element, but they aren't continually the maximum reliable source of income. If you may get a unprecedented car in operating situation, you could make extra money than you would ever imagine. Then again, if you get a rare automobile that needs more paintings, you could emerge as spending triple what you in the beginning paid for it. No longer even automotive experts like Wayne Carini can identify every tiny element in an engine. They occasionally miss out on troubles and become taking in a vehicle. This is in terrible form when Wayne and the team buy a car that is not as road ready, because it appears a cycle begins. Those automobiles can't be proven on chasing classic cars because it would be adverse to public relations. All of us involved might lose some credibility if they have been tested to be fallacious, with the chance of losing each money and viewers. The production group steps in. While motors are deemed flawed for the display, they may be auctioned off without the customers understanding. It creates a cycle of lies. A car is bought for more than it is really worth to the Chasing Classic Cars group, who then resell it to someone else. 7. Wayne's faux hobby for the camera. While it's simple that Wayne Carini loves classic and rare distinctive automobiles, the TV show has grew to become this passion into an obsession. Wayne's love for automobiles changed into surpassed down to him via his father Robert Carini. While he becomes simply 9 years old, he become taken for a ride in a Ferrari Rosso Chiaro 250 and had his life modified forever. No longer too lengthy after that, he started out working on them, and he's continued to accomplish that for over 60 years. That does not change the truth that the show is scripted. Writers write up the scripted exhilaration that viewers witness, and Wayne's position is to carry that exhilaration to all people looking. Wayne does love vehicles, even though it isn't always the manner this is portrayed on the application. His love for cars doesn't come inside the recognize it all manner that it seems. Instead, it comes from a place of admiration. He loves to analyze, not to brag. Approximately his expertise, however, to use the matters he knows in the course of his everyday lifestyle. 6. Roger used to race in Formula B and V opposition. Roger Barr's passion for automobiles started as a child, and as he grew older it blossomed into an splendid profession and records. When Roger became just 6 years antique, his father mentioned every e-book inside the residence because he becomes sick of hearing him ask questions about vehicles. When he instructed his parents he desired to paintings as an plane mechanic. His father moved the own family to New Jersey, so they could be near the distinguished Patterson Tech University. The problem became that Roger was speculated to pay the $450 registration fee, and he wasn't from the richest circle of relatives round. Ultimately, he did attain the diploma, which became beneficial to him while he enlisted within the Navy. It was whilst serving as a stand-in driver on an F-1H Amazing Sabre plane. While stationed in Germany that he have become acquainted with sports vehicle racing. He earned the invitation by way of competing towards the quickest Porsche. While the legitimate driving force or the automobile wrecked in some races, he needed to get into the backup vehicle and take over the driving. Roger Barr believed that the automobile, now not the driver, received the races. 5. Occasionally automobiles are more steeply priced than they instructed. Whenever someone might appear at the show to buy a car from the Chasing Classic Cars group, they sometimes observed themselves left in the dust after the charge became finalized. As with most purchases, there would once in a while be undisclosed hidden expenses that would sneak up on them by using wonder. The show is viewer optimized to make it seem great and display clients getting their ideal antique cars at a truthful fee due to the hidden prices. The real buy price is drastically better than what viewers agree with. Many viewers of the display puzzled whether Wayne Carini was ripping off clients on the show. The display hardly ever revealed how much the automobiles were being sold for, and this secrecy need to had been imposed for a reason that the show did not want enthusiasts to recognize. No matter the media's public worries, fanatics of Chasing Classic Cars defended him. They factor out that everybody who seemed at the display turned into aware that they might be in the front of the digicam and have been aware of Wayne's goals for the display. Human beings claiming to have worked along Wayne stated that he never displayed any sort of shoddiness whilst he turned into making sales. 4. Jay Leno regarded twice a few of the well-known celebrities who seemed on the display. Jay Leno honestly made and looked 2 times the former Tonight Show host, has an brilliant vehicle garage, and it's no marvel that he could appear on a show like Chasing Classic Automobiles. On one appearance he met up with Wayne Carini to drive a classic 1963 British Motor Corporation bus around the block. It was a completely mundane look on the show with not anything going on. However, him displaying off his driving skills. The same cannot be stated for his other using display experiences acting on his very own show Jay Leno's Garage. Jay Leno become doing a stunt with the 80-year-old professional stunt driver Bob Riggle. Bob Riggle changed into an professional at acting a trick wherein a vehicle's front wheels carry off the ground even as driving. The stunt went excellent and Jay Leno became capable of scratch the trick off his bucket listing. It become after the trick was finished that things took a turn for the worst. Actually, after taking a sharp proper flip, Bob Riggle misplaced manipulate and the car spiraled out of manipulate and flipped over multiple instances at the same time as Jay Leno's Bob Riggle revel and turned into more enjoyable for visitors. It become a great deal less complicated to loosen up even as driving around in a classic bus on Chasing Classic Cars 3. Wayne has a personal collection of 25 traditional motors. If there's absolutely everyone who is aware of what the automobile market is like, it is Wayne Carini. Wayne bought and offered a new car every week on Chasing Classic Cars. When the cameras were off, he offered vehicles for his very own non-public series. Even as on the show, he very rarely spoke approximately his own car collection. He has been running on collections for some time and has the motors to show it. Wayne is aware of what to search for in an automobile, and he's pinpointed a number of the excellent to maintain for himself. Were given a collection of vans, races, and comfort vehicles. Among the outstanding collection of cars, you could find the 1932 Orban Boattail Speedster, a lovely traditional vehicle. It really is worth close to $100,000. There's also a 1936 Ford pickup and a 1948 Davis Dean, an auto-looking 3WHE convertible that became most effective, offered among the years of 1947 And 1949, those 3 vehicles by myself are really worth a core of 1 million. There is no telling how tons money all of his 25 motors combined can be well worth, as though a set of uncommon stunning and high-priced cars wasn't brilliant enough. Wayne also has a group of vintage bikes to wear. Is Wayne Carini now? It's been 3 years due to the fact Chasing Classic Cars aired its final episode since it ended. People have wondered what came of Wayne Carini. Fans will be satisfied to understand that he has been staying busy during the years after Wayne observed himself now not operating on the show. He grew to become his time to F40, which is his automobile dealership in his fatherland of Portland, Connecticut. He keeps to do car restorations right here. He has even obtained awards for the restorations he completed there. Humans will bring their vehicles into the F40 store for expert consulting. Other creditors who are shopping for and selling vehicles or trying to begin a collection, we're going to convey their cars to Wayne Carini and feature him, look them over with pointers and feedback on where to move from there. While he's no longer doing that, he is representing a handful of other organizations like Craftsman Tools, Metrovac, and Hey Car Pill. In between those various projects, Wayne Carini has made time to have amusing. He began a podcast referred to as Classic Car Talk. This is committed to speaking about the first-class antique automobiles round. He hosts the podcast collectively with his buddy Jay Ward, who's in the main known for being the innovative and technical director of Pixar's hit movie Cars 1, whereas Roger Barr. Now many people believed Roger Barr's unexpected departure from the show was the reason that it ended so abruptly. Whilst we don't know whether or not or no longer it's genuine, we do know the show couldn't have probably been the same without him. Nearly 5 years after he left, humans want to understand what he's been up to. Roger Barr left the collection below. Sudden occasions. He had hurt himself pretty badly at the F40 dealership, and that saved him off the display after the collection ended. He discovered himself in a paradox. Despite the fact that he become unable to finish the obligations he wanted to complete round the store following his surgery, he become nevertheless required to do them because of the process. Notwithstanding being on a big television show, he stated that he showed to the sector that he still needed to work every day if he wanted to make a residing. There were also rumors that his friendship might be altered with Wayne Carini after the injury. A fan on Facebook requested if Wayne Carini had offered him any assist with the payments. The admin of Roger Barr's account replied and said that they would solution that query at a later time because it become a touchy subject. Chasing Classic Cars resulted in 2021, leaving many enthusiasts questioning why lovers have created their personal theories. Approximately what absolutely came about. However, none of the display stars have ever supplied an official explanation. As an alternative, more than a few of things have befell, which includes financial and prison troubles which have absolutely impacted the show's course. Do you've got a theory about why the display ended? Let us realize within the feedback comments underneath. Thank you for looking. Till next time.